No, gracias a todos los colegas de la universidad que ayudan a organizar. Nosotros estuvimos recorriendo varios lugares del país. Hoy es la última actividad que estamos haciendo acá en Argentina. Después Biju y Han son dos de los máximos expertos en turismo, en planificación y en marketing del turismo en China. Han hecho los planes de desarrollo turístico de muchas ciudades chinas, de la planificación, de la emisión de turismo chino y la recepción también. Biju dirige el área de turismo de la Universidad de Pekin, que es la universidad más importante de Asia, y Han es investigadora de la Universidad de Fudan, que es una de las universidades también más importantes de Asia, y también son fundadores y dirigen la Asociación de Estudios Turísticos, la Asociación Internacional de Estudios Turísticos, que tiene base en Estados Unidos. Han es la vicesecretaria general, tienen muchísimas publicaciones, muchísimos libros, y la verdad que nos parecía importante que lo podamos aprovechar también en la universidad pública, que podamos hacer una actividad, que podamos hacer preguntas. Bueno, ahora Gerardo va a comentar un poco lo que venimos haciendo de CEPEC. Cristina y Matías se pueden contar también lo que venimos haciendo en conjunto de turismo, y después que hagan la presentación, y la verdad que lo pueden aprovechar porque realmente saben muchísimo del tema turístico. Poco de Argentina sabían, realmente poco, así que ahora tienen una mejor idea.
Buenas tardes a todos y a todas, gracias por haberse acercado esta tarde. Muchas gracias también a Tiger y a Han por estar aquí. Desde CLEPEC venimos trabajando desde hace varios años en diferentes acciones vinculadas a acercar a Argentina y a China, a reducir las asimetrías. En particular venimos trabajando en el área de turismo desde el año pasado, a partir de un convenio que hicimos con el ente de la Patagonia, en el cual desarrollamos diferentes cursos de capacitación a operadores turísticos. Con Gonzalo ya dimos 4 capacitaciones en San Martín de los Andes, Bariloche, Calafate y Ushuaia, y ahora vamos a seguir con Trelew y Puerto Madryn. Entendemos que el turismo chino tiene un enorme potencial en Argentina, un enorme potencial porque justamente hoy es escaso, muy escaso. Estamos hablando de 72.000 chinos que ingresaron al país el año pasado, es una cifra que no existe prácticamente, de la cual la mitad suponemos que están vinculados a los supermercadistas chinos que viajan por motivos familiares o laborales. Entonces creemos que desde ahí tenemos un enorme potencial de crecimiento, no seguramente el millón de turistas chinos que dijo el presidente Macri, ¿no? Evidentemente no, pero sí que va a crecer cada vez más, y en ese sentido, como nos pasa con otros ámbitos, como en la política, o con las universidades, o como con el mundo del comercio, necesitamos capacitar y mejorar nuestras potencialidades también como destino. Así que bueno, gracias, y esperamos que esto sea un paso más también de la relación que venimos tejiendo con la Universidad Nacional de Quilmes, con Matías desde hace muchos años, con un convenio firmado desde hace casi 5 años, y también bueno, con la oferta que se está dando en materia educativa, y esto es un paso más también en el área de turismo.
Bueno, yo quiero agradecerles a todos, contarles que desde la maestría en este trimestre hemos incorporado el curso de China contemporánea, que Gonzalo es el profesor. También les quería comentar a ellos que la Asociación Internacional de Estudios Turísticos, nosotros tenemos una doctora en nuestra universidad que forma parte de la asociación de ustedes, la doctora Regina Schluter.
They have a PhD in the International Tourism Association that take part in the association. Es a member.
Sí, no pudo estar, sí pudo estar. Bueno, y además en esta mesa hay 2 tesistas que van a trabajar el tema del turismo chino y la relación con una señorita que está allá y un caballero que tengo enfrente, que van a
Two people are doing the thesis in
que
Chinese.
van a trabajar sus tesis sobre turismo, sobre las relaciones del turismo entre Argentina y China. Bueno, simplemente agradecerles la presencia de todos y que vamos a aprovechar la jornada.
No mucho más para aclarar, agradecerles la presencia a todos y a todas, destacar la presencia y la invitación acá de los colegas especialistas. Esto bueno, viene en el marco del convenio, como bien mencionó Gerardo, que tiene la universidad con CEPEC, que ya lleva más de 5 años. Y bueno, la idea es seguir afianzando y reforzando este tipo de iniciativas que la verdad que desde las dos partes, tanto de CEPEC como de la universidad, está llevando adelante. Hay buena iniciativa, buena predisposición por llevar adelante este tipo de actividades y bueno, muy contentos y a seguir fortaleciendo este tipo de trabajos.
Bueno, si les parece, we could continue with the presentation. Ya no sé si saben, presento también brevemente, China es el principal emisor de turistas del mundo. 150 millones de turistas chinos salieron el año pasado. Es el mayor mercado del mundo y también en recepción. Y uno de los temas que más se consulta en cuanto al turista chino en el extranjero y que hay ciertos problemas. Nosotros cuando estuvimos recorriendo las provincias, nos juntamos con muchísimos funcionarios y también académicos, hablamos del tema de la sustentabilidad, del tema de nosotros ir a buscar al turista chino, no recibir al turista, o sea, apuntar a un determinado mercado, porque la idea no es que sea Argentina el destino masivo, que quizás incluso no nos interesa. O sea, nosotros tenemos una estrategia, que estamos trabajando en esto en conjunto con ellos para tener una estrategia de recepción de turistas chinos. Bueno, y conocer el comportamiento, conocer más sobre el mercado chino es la intención de la presentación de Han. El comportamiento, cómo es la característica del mercado chino.
It's my turn now?
It's your time now.
I think that probably let Tiger introduce himself because he hasn't.
I think you already introduced us.
Very briefly, so you can present.
Okay, tonight I'm very glad that I'm sorry I cannot speak in Spanish. And
Perdón que no puedo hablar en español. ¿Todos entienden inglés o sí? Vale.
Okay.
Go on then.
I think we need a translation from English to Spanish.
They all understand English, but in any case, I'll be helping.
Okay, because I and Hannah all present in English
Yes.
or Chinese.
Pregunten si vamos ayudando.
Sí, cualquier cosa, si quedamos en algo, reforzamos, pero por entenderse.
We come here for more than 1 week and travel from the south end to the north end. So we learned a lot about Argentina, and we find the tourism potential here is very huge, but not too many Chinese people know Argentina very well. So many people concerned Argentina is it is very far destination, but it's very cold. But we find it's not cold. It's very mild one. Compared to the winter landscape in China, in Beijing or the northeast part of China, it's very, very cold. So here it's very warm. So we like the warm destination. Yeah, and the friendship of the people here is very friendly, warm, and the people not kiss, just face touching, and we get used to that way that to express our the warmth or the hospitality, and when I come here, the National University of Quilmes University, and then we find that the tourism is attached to the Department of Economics and Administration. But I believe that the tourism potential here is very huge. So with the tourism development, I think we will have a school of tourism and hotel administration in the future in this university. Because in China, we have more than 600 universities have tourism program from bachelor to other, and we have more than 50 or 60 university have PhD degree in tourism.
How many?
60.
60.
Yeah, more than that. I think. Yeah, because not only in tourism management degree, but also we have geography, we have economics, we have heritage studies, something like that. So totally we have more than 600 universities have bachelor degree on tourism management. So and we have many universities have tourism school and tourism department. So I think with the huge potential, the resources, attraction here, and more tourists from China, from other countries, and then Argentina become a very, in demand on human resource on tourism and hospitality management. So I believe we will have both Department of Economics and also Department of Tourism in the future. So just a short, yeah. So I turn the turn to Professor Hannah Sen.
And then we can do some question also. Your experience in Argentina, your thoughts.
Yeah.
I think I'd better stand up to present. And good evening, everyone. It's my great honor being here, and thanks CEPEC and also University of Quilmes to invite us visit Argentina. Actually, this is our first time visit South America. If we regard Mexico as Central America, then this is actually the first time for us. And during these 10 days of visiting, we visit a lot of destinations, and we find that Argentina is really amazing place, but unfortunately, very little Chinese know this factor. So I think that it's very important for us to present Brazil as a very important tourist destination in the Chinese market. So that is actually the purpose of our visit, and
to promote Argentina.
Yes, to promote Argentina in China. So today I would like to give a brief introduction. Actually, it's a background information about Chinese outbound tourists, their behavior patterns, and some statistics in the past 10 years. And so that through this presentation, hopefully I could provide some kinds of information which could help us to understand Chinese tourists. And on the basis of this, Tiger and me, we will host a kind of discussion with all the audience if you have any questions regarding this, because the topic of our seminar is the future cooperation between China and Argentina in tourism. So this presentation is background information about the behavior, and then we will have a Q&A session. And so first of all, I think that Gondola has already introduced us, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm Hannah from Shanghai Fudan University tourism department, and my expertise is in marketing and consumer behavior for tourists. And this study is actually based on my previous research of the outbound tourism. And first of all, I will provide you some of the statistics of the Chinese outbound tourism. In last year, in 2018, there are totally 150 million of the Chinese tourists. They travel abroad, and the increase rate is 14.7% over the same period last year. So actually, from this chart, you can find that the outbound tourist number keep growing, gradually, and we can see from 2011 to 2018, the number keep from 0.7 million. Billion, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, to 1.49 billion. So the number actually is quite huge, but on considering the whole population of China, actually it is recorded that only 10% of Chinese have the overseas travel experiences. So we can predict that in the future, the number will keep increasing gradually. And in terms of destination, the Asian countries, because they are quite close to China, so most of the Chinese, their first overseas visit is Asian countries. And you can see the top 10 destinations. The first one is Thailand. You know, Thailand is the favorite destination of Chinese outbound tourists. And Japan. Japan is now recently is very popular, but sometimes it will change because of the political conflicts between the two countries. So sometimes, you know, Chinese just stop visiting Japan, and also Vietnam. Vietnam is also a very popular destination, and South Korea, Singapore, America, Malaysia, France, Indonesia, and Russia. So these are the top 10 overseas destinations of the Chinese outbound tourists. And recently, in 2018, we can find Argentina here, right? They has the top 10 fastest growing destination countries. The top one is Burma and Montenegrin and Serbian, Laos and Argentina. You can find that there are some of the new destinations, emerge in the market, and a lot of long haul destinations like South America, because South America is such a far away place, and but nowadays more and more Chinese are exploring these kinds of long haul destinations, the places they have never been before, because we have a lot of experienced overseas tourists. They have been to everywhere, in Europe, in Asia, and in Africa, in North America, and now they are exploring the new territory, such as South America. Okay, yeah. And the top 10 most popular destinations are basically in Asia, and we can find that these are in terms of cities. So Bangkok, especially last year, because they waived the visa for Chinese citizens, so you can go whenever you want to go. So it brings a lot of attractiveness and to promote Thailand tourism. So a lot of Chinese they just call the friends whether you would like to go to Bangkok. Yes, let's go. Then in the summer, in the weekend they will go there. So and the top 10 is Hong Kong, because Hong Kong is very convenient to go there for the Chinese citizens, and Tokyo and Osaka. So these are and also the Nagasaki. These are the three, Japan destinations. And you can find that, especially in 2018, Japan experienced a very rapid increase of the outbound tourism in China. And here are the outbound tourism, the distribution of the outbound tourism, their source market. And we can find that although China is such a huge country, and but most of the outbound tourists came from the eastern coastal provinces, because these provinces are the most developed regions in China, and people there, they have a higher income to support their overseas visit. And also the first and the second tier developed cities with high per capita income. Also there are some kinds of inland cities like Xi'an and Chengdu, although they do not locate in the east coastal provinces, but their economy is quite good, and their income of the citizen is also good, so they are more willing to travel abroad. And then I will provide some of the summaries about the statistics of the overseas outbound tourists. The general studies of the Chinese outbound tourists, we can find that there are more females travel abroad. And also the age structure of the Chinese outbound tourists, we can find that there are around 21.8% of the younger generations under 24. They are willing to travel abroad to have a look of the world. And here, around 28 are from age 25 to 30. So we can find that half of the outbound tourists are under age 30. And also, we can find that there are more and more elderly people nowadays. They are more willing to travel abroad after they retired from the company. So here is the age structure of the Chinese outbound tourists. And by province, we can find that the top 10 distribution of the outbound tourists in provincial area of China is Guangdong. Well, Shanghai is listed the number 2, but I have to explain that the studies about Guangdong actually include the outbound tourism to Hong Kong and Macau. So the number you need to recalculate it because actually Guangdong people visit, they usually pay a day visit to Hong Kong and Macau and then return back to do some shopping over there. So technically they are not outbound tourists as we defined. So in this term, we find Shanghai. Shanghai is actually the most important outsourced market of the source market of the outbound tourists. And it's easy to explain because, Shanghai, people living in Shanghai, Shanghai is a gate city of most of the Yangtze Delta River. Nanjing, Hangzhou, Suzhou, these kinds of places are the most richest, place in China. And the people there are more willing to travel abroad, and they are the most experienced outbound tourists in China. And because this place, actually they are now entering into the we could say the third stage. The first stage is the first time go abroad, and usually they visit Malaysia, Thailand, and for some sightseeing. And then gradually people would like to explore Europe and New Zealand, Australia. But nowadays Shanghainese, because many of them have already been to these kinds of places, so they are more willing to explore the long haul destinations. So actually this Shanghai market is very important. And also Beijing, because of the population, also that is the main gate city of the north part of China. So most of the international flights, they have the departure city from Beijing. So most of the people travel from the north part of China, they will go to Beijing to take the international flight. And also Zhejiang and Jiangsu. So these two provinces all belong to Yangtze River Delta. So you can find that actually the top four, three of them belongs to Yangtze River Delta. So that is a very important source market in China. And this is the distribution of the sources of tourists by city. And the first one is Shanghai, and the second one is Beijing, And Nanjing. Nanjing is the provincial capital of Jiangsu province. And Hangzhou, Shenzhen, the number 4 is Shenzhen. Shenzhen, just near the border with Hong Kong. So I could say that the reason of why Shenzhen was listed the top 4 is because a lot of people, they travel from Shenzhen to Hong Kong. And Guangzhou is quite near to Hong Kong and Macau. So that is also the reason, they were listed the top 4 and 5. And then Chengdu here. Chengdu is at the middle of, China, to the southwest part of China. And that is the most important gateway city of the middle. And this part and also this part, they will choose to fly from Chengdu. So this city is listed top 6. And also Tianjin. Tianjin is a city near Beijing. And Wuhan. Wuhan is at the middle of Yangtze River. It's another important city along Yangtze River. So Wuhan has also a very huge population, and many of the middle part of Chinese, they will choose, Wuhan as their start point to fly to different countries. And also Hangzhou. Hangzhou is the capital city of Zhejiang province. That is also a very important province in Yangtze River Delta. So you see, these three provinces and cities organize the most important source market of China here. And the last one is Chongqing. Chongqing is another city, along at the middle of Yangtze River. So these are the distribution of the top 10 source cities in terms of outbound tourism. And for the education background and the marital status, we can find that most of the people who travel abroad, they are well educated. They have degrees, above bachelor degree. And also, half of them are married, and the total amount of consumption, and it keeps increase. And we can find last year the total amount of expenditure is around 1,900 billion in Chinese yuan. So you can divide it into 7, and then you could get US dollar. So it's quite.
Can you repeat the last what you explained? The conversion. Yeah, the conversion.
Yes.
The conversion. The money conversion.
$1
is in Chinese money.
7.
More or less 7.
More than 7.
So, yeah, but you can divide it in 7, right? You can divide it in 7.
$1, 6.8.
Yes, 6. And the per capita cost of the outbound travel is also, 12.8 thousand RMB last year. And nearly 70% of Chinese get outbound travel information through the internet. So we can find, if we would like to do some promotion, we need to focus on online promotion. And the source of tourism information, we can find the WeChat. Most of, around half of the people, they report that their, tourism information come from WeChat, from WeChat. WeChat is the most important social media in China. And also websites and app, messages, etc. are all very important source of tourism information. And the online, so people not only get information online, but they also pay online. They pay their outbound tourism online. So the online, the transaction scale for China's online tourism market, last year we can find that it equals to around near 2,000 RMB. Sorry, I forgot to put the RMB dollar RMB here, and the enterprise share of Chinese online tourism market. So we have already mentioned that many of the people would like to pay online to purchase their outbound tourism products, and these are the major companies, online travel agency companies.
OTA.
Yeah, the OTAs. The first is Xiechen, Ctrip, and Qunar, and Feizhu. So these are, we can find that actually this stands for around 70% of the online transaction of the outbound tourism. And the number of the independent females tourists, is increasing year by year, and we can find that 3 years ago there are 48% of females, but nowadays we have 58. And the Chinese outbound tourist travel time choice. Usually in China we have 3 major public holidays. One in October 1st to October 7th. We have 1 week, the Golden Week. And then we also have the Spring Festival. According to the lunar calendar, usually it's in January, sometimes in February. And also we have another 1 week. But usually that week we arrange the family reunion. So sometimes someone will choose to, the whole family, go abroad and spend the Spring Festival overseas. And also nowadays we also have the Golden Week in May, and we have around 3 days in May. So we can find around 30% of the people, they will travel overseas during these public holidays. And also we have the winter and the summer vacation here, because the school children, they have 2 months, July and August, and also the winter vacation during the Spring Festival, another 1 month. So totally we have 3 months for the school children. And so most of the parents, they will carry their child abroad during the during the winter and the summer vacation. And also many of the people who work in the company, they will take the annual leave to spend an overseas trip. And the factors influencing Chinese tourist hotel choices, because this time we visit a lot of hotels, and a lot of hoteliers, they are quite curious how to serve, for the Chinese outbound tourists. During the decision making of the hotel choices, we can find that the location is the most important element, and also the price level are the factors, significantly influencing the choice, and also the room environment. And for the Chinese visitors, they would like to have the people overseas in that hotel could speak Chinese. We, according to our survey, we can find that 44% of the Chinese people, they mentioned that they would like, if that hotel, their staff could speak Mandarin, that will be, perfect. And also the online payment system. Online payment system is also stand for 44. That is also a very important factor for the Chinese southbound tourists because we have get used to the online payment. We have Alipay, we have WeChat Pay. So when I'm in China, actually when I go out, I never carry my wallet. I just bring my handphone. So I can pay online everywhere. So this time, Tiger and me, we are searching for Wi-Fi everywhere.
We say that we have the Wi-Fi map.
Yes.
Not Wi-Fi map.
Yes. We are talking that we could, draw Argentina Wi-Fi map. This place with Wi-Fi, this place without Wi-Fi, right? So people in China, they really get used to online payment. And recently, I have a student's thesis, investigating the online payments and offline payment in terms of outbound tourism, and we find that significantly people are more, willing to pay through online, and their feeling of loss of money, is significantly lower than if you pay in cash. So it's quite important for us to establish some online payment system, not only in hotels, but also in restaurants and souvenir shops and duty-free shops. And also some kinds of share travel experience. People are more willing to share their experience, like Tiger. Although we cannot find Wi-Fi, but the Tiger has already write down the WeChat, entry. And once he got Wi-Fi, okay, publish. So here is the distribution of the platform of the user sharing tourism experiences. So we know that Tiger has 10,000 followers, 10,000 followers on his WeChat circle. So once he go to visit a place, he needs to publish this, and then there will be a lot of likes, and then we can find that around 70% of the people, they would like to share their overseas experiences online with their friends, with their followers. So that is a very important motivation for them, and that is a part of experience, overseas tourist experiences for Chinese. And also we can find that the short video nowadays, the younger generations, they are more willing to shoot a short video and upload it on the platform. And the travel days for independent tourists, we can find that New Zealand, usually people will spend 12 days because the location of the south atmosphere. And I think in terms of Argentina, probably we have
20 days.
20 days. Yes. Yeah. And also United States, and Australia, Germany, Switzerland. So these are, and also United Kingdom, Morocco. We can find that for the long haul, overseas destinations, usually people will spend more than 10 days. Okay, So that's all for the presentation. And thank you.
Thank you, Han. Perhaps some questions, and después tenemos que ir cerrando la sala.
Tenemos otro evento en la sala, así que algunas preguntas.
Tengo una consulta. Quería saber si tiene repercusión allá la plataforma free que estableció el gobierno hace poco. Si tuvo algún
What's the outcome of the platform created by the government? That's called
Flishy. But in Chinese, no, but in Chinese is
Okay.
WeChat.
No,
No, WeChat.
I will show you.
Fishing. Fishing.
Feitu.
Feitu.
Feitu is the Alibaba, another private company in Hangzhou. Where the city just hold the G20 conference there, where the yen came from.
Yeah, the government made some promotion. Our national government made some promotion in that platform.
It's not the largest one. You should choose C-Trip or Beijing.
Yeah. Que son los más.
Another question.
I have a question. What would you recommend to hotels and tourism agencies to overcome cultural barriers and generate opportunities for the arrival of Chinese tourism?
No, puedes hablar un poquito más fuerte porque la verdad que hasta acá llega re bajita.
Yes. What would you recommend to hotel and tourism secretaries to overcome cultural barriers and generate opportunities for the arrival of Chinese tourism?
What's the recommendation from the tourism agency to receive more promotion to receive more tourism?
Yes, it also can be like a conclusion of our trip. How do you think that we can receive more Chinese tourism for agencies that we have been talking about? Like some recommendation for trip agencies
for
to receive more
tour operators. You mean? Yes, actually, just like Hannah mentioned in her presentation, that people only book, or most of them book the travel online. The largest one is C-Trip. C-Trip is a tour operator, but it is an online travel agent, or we call it OTA, online travel agent. C-Trip is the largest one. More than 50% of people book on that OTA. Except for C-Trip, we also have many other online platform like Fly Pekin, and also like Tongchen or Tuniu and many others. But at the same time, we have offline tour operator. The biggest one, or the biggest three, is CTA, China Travel Service, CTS, and another one, China Overseas, and another one is China Youth Travel Service. So they have a platform in each city to collect tourists, but only less than 10% of people, buy the tour operator, the organized group. Most of them travel by themselves. So that's why we consider the information is very important. The searching information in Baidu, because Google is closed by the Chinese government. So we have our own searching machine that called Baidu, and people searching the most of Chinese tourists cannot read Spanish or cannot speak read the English one, so they need a Chinese website. So for Argentina, for all the destination here, we should have some website in Chinese, and develop maintain the website by hire some Chinese people to do that. If you have overseas students here from China, and then they will help you to write what is the situation here in Chinese. So, yeah.
Good evening. Which kind of travel experiences do the Chinese travelers prefer? I mean, ecotourism, cultural tourism, gastronomy, culinary.
The jungle that we have.
Good question. You know, China is a very big country, and the market itself is very diverse. You know, in the eastern coastal zones, they have very rich experience travel abroad. So they intended to find new places. Not too many people go there, like Argentina. So Argentina is only for those most rich people and many, you know, experienced people. They have been to Paris, to the States, to the UK many times. So they don't like to go to there anymore. So they will go to some place. Not too many people come to, you know. So, but for rest of the market, they are, you know, the first time. So they like to and visit many countries in one trip. Like, you know, 10 days, 12 countries in European country. Just take a picture and then move. So, yeah, we have, we have different kind of the market. It depends on you, what you want. If you want a longer stay in one place, we have. If you want the jumping people that from city to city to city, and then we have. So it depends on what you want to attract the market.
The idea is to develop a strategy to go to some targets, receive also the massive tourism.
Yeah, that's what we suggested Argentina to position China as their, you know, only select those experienced, rich person come to Argentina, and then we have very good quality service for them, and then you take a larger money, not for a large number of the visitor, but only focus on the price, high price. Yeah.
Bueno, tenemos que cerrar, así que cualquier cosa que nos podemos quedar charlando, si alguien le quiere hacer una pregunta, pero bueno, tenemos que cerrar porque tenemos que reservar la sala. Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Yeah.